The goal of any design undertaking, and our responsibility as designers, is to show a vision of what can be, to unveil potential, and to suggest a possible course of action. This end result is only possible, however, with the studying that happens prior to the actual designing itself. The greatest future could be envisioned for any project, any people, any community, but without context, it's meaningless. In this snapshot of a hypothetical Idlewild, you can see that things don't exactly match up. That's because it's only relevant to design when it's grounded in reality, and as students in design, that's exactly what we've done. We've studied the origins and history of Idlewild and its greater context in the 20th century, and we took that knowledge with us to an actual visit of the community itself, so that we're able to match it with the current reality of a 21st century Idlewild. As we begin to address the current conditions of Idlewild and its potential for future development, we'll start with its physical organization. The main features of the community are the three predominant lakes along with US Highway 10 bordering to the north. Parallel to this highway is the Rails to Trail snowmobile trail, which combined creates a strong effect whereby Idlewild is easily bypassed without being noticed. From US 10, Broadway and Foreman extends to the south, with Martin Luther King Boulevard and Lake Drive connecting the two across town, along with other smaller roads which make up the remaining pattern of the community. For a deeper analysis of the features of Idlewild's pattern, we'll focus on a smaller area within the downtown area, which includes historic Williams Island. Common to most planning of the Midwest, the majority of Idlewild is laid out along a traditional grid. These long, narrow stretches, such as the entry corridor along US Highway 10, provide little visual interest to someone traveling around the area. When there is minimal development as well along these roads, as seen in the images shown here, there is a strong tendency to pass through the area without stopping for activity. There are exceptions, however, where the street grid is interrupted by the three main lakes of Idlewild, along with some of the former lakes which are currently going through eutrophication. Not only do these irregular road patterns slow traffic throughout the community, but studies of rural town planning have shown that these types of moments encourage movement, along with providing rewarding experiences of activity within a community. This irregular road pattern, however, isn't the only option for sound development within Idlewild. As mentioned before, even the roads within the traditional grid have potential for valuable design when combined with well-planned building development. We'll look at one example from Idlewild's historic downtown area to help illustrate this point. Situated across from the western end of Williams Island sits the Red Rooster. A formerly bustling destination within Idlewild, this building remains to provide a good example for future development. Strategically placed at the convergence of three roads, the Red Rooster does not sit off to the side of the intersection, but rather right in the middle of it. Additionally, the road from the island forks its way to either side of the building, which provides for a visual destination as you travel the highly trafficked route from the island into the downtown area. The Red Rooster is just one example of many buildings within Idlewild's diverse architectural palette. In a rural town as such, it's uncommon to have a single unifying factor amongst the buildings of which it consists. In Idlewild's example, this pattern is a strength in that more diversity can be achieved throughout the future development of buildings, which, if strategically planned, can reinforce the design principles found to be successful in other rural towns of this scale. By capitalizing on these existing moments found within the community, along with fostering future design which incorporates these principles, Idlewild can move toward a more sustained, active future. There's a high potential to draw more visitors from the general through traffic in the area of Lake County in western Michigan, along with the immediate benefits of providing a more valuable community experience to the existing residents. We end where we began, looking at an image of one story about what Idlewild could be. This collage doesn't presume to be any sort of community design by any means, but rather to remind us of the process by which designs are reached. Our process began early on with a study of Idlewild's recorded history, which led to an informed site visit upon which our designs are now founded. This due diligence is necessary for any relevant design, especially in the case of Idlewild, and any such attempt to bring back the spirit of the past.